Would you agree that the world feels different today than it did 5 years ago? Everything has gotten a lot faster. You know, we get the same information in a Sunday paper today that people used to get in their whole lifetime 100 years ago. That is insane when you think about it. We are getting flooded with information from everywhere. Social media spreads faster and faster than ever before, and so other people's ideas and opinions travel just as fast. They're nothing but people trying to influence you, brainwash you, and tell you what to believe, because what you consume will program you. Now, here's the secret I want to share with you. You have the power to brainwash yourself. You can reprogram yourself with whatever you want. And if you don't brainwash yourself, the world is going to brainwash you instead. Let's look at a few facts, just to satisfy the engineers watching along. We see between 4,000 and 10,000 ads, not every week, not every month, not every year, but every single day. It's worth noting that, do you remember all of these? If you don't, chances are that you are taking them in the subtle forms of ads passively, aka it's going straight into your unconscious mind, aka it's programming you. It's been proven that one 30-second ad can lower your energy and your emotional state by up to 30 minutes. So no wonder why so many people are so fucking unhappy. Do you know how many people are unhappy in their job? 85% of people dislike their job and are unhappy at work. Now, I'm sure you can agree that you are going to pick up some not so good beliefs from these unhappy people who don't like what they're doing. Here's another example. Your parents growing up, they taught you how to behave. Don't say this, don't go over there, don't touch that, you can't leave the table until you've finished eating your veggies. Now, it's not all bad. I'm sure you got some great things from them. However, they pass on their programming to you. And all of this is happening unconsciously for you, meaning you're not even aware of it. And that's exactly how brainwashing works. It's just repetition over and over and over and over again, and eventually it gets into the back of your mind and you don't even know that it's there. Just in the same way that you learn how to drive a car, at first you were really cautious, right? Checking the mirrors, you know, had two hands on the wheel and checking each direction 3 times before taking off. Now, when you've been driving for a while and for a few years, you can be driving and not even realize that you get home, and then you pull up and you don't even remember how you drove there. You did it just so unconsciously. This is why we can even be driving a car and we can be eating, we can be on the phone even though we shouldn't be, we can be brushing our teeth, or girls can be putting on makeup, because it's so unconscious, right? So the brainwashing and the programming from outside sources happen in the exact same way as you drive the car. Repetition is the mother of mastery, and most of us are getting repetition of the wrong things. The secret is you can program yourself. And I want to share with you in this video some of the ways that I've been able to achieve success in all areas of life, including my mental and emotional state, my health and my fitness, my relationships, and building a successful coaching business. Now, the world teaches, trains, and educates you to play small and be realistic. So I want to teach you how to play bigger and become unrealistic. Let's start with something easy you can do if you want to get the life that you want. Most people look at where they want to be. They look at what success they want to have, the relationships they want to be in, and everything that they want. And you can see that stuff. You can feel great when you think about it. You can create vision boards around it and all of the traditional law of attraction stuff. However, this is only one side of the equation. The other side is pain. And pain can be a powerful motivator with an immensely powerful driving force attached to it. I take men through one of the most profound processes in our 3-day launch event. I start off by taking them down the pain side. If they do nothing with their life, if they stay the same, and if they keep going the same way they are right now, During this, we bring in some depressing music to just really make this as painful as possible. When the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, then the decision will be made to change, and that's when shit is going to happen for you. This is why so many people don't change, because the comfort is, well, comfortable, and it's not painful enough to change. So how do you want your life not to go? Who will you lose? Who will you let down? And as I said, pain can be a powerful motivator. Even if you look at the behaviorisms, you're going to work much harder to avoid pain than you will to gain pleasure. So if you want to brainwash yourself for success, maybe you should brainwash yourself with the anti-vision of what you want to avoid due to that's not the life that you want. There's a small distinction here. You don't want to focus on what you don't want. You still want to focus on what you want. But you do want to use this of what you don't want as fuel to push you towards what you want. To give you a personal story here, when I first started my business and I was working in a job and I was just in the transition of that, I went down this process and I was like, what would happen if I continued to live my life in a job and just didn't take action in the business, and I just was half-assing things, and I went down? Where would I be in 5 years? Where would I be in 10 years? Where would I be in 20 years? Where would I be in 30 years, 40 years? And I was like, I was gonna be a slave, and I was just gonna be working my life away. I would have got to the age I was able to retire, and I would have been too beat up in construction. My body would have been, sore and painful. I would have been breaking down. And I was like, is that the life I really want to live? Is that what I'm going to settle for? And that was a motivating force for me to go, I'm going to do anything I can to avoid that. I don't want to get to 65, then be too old to retire and not be able to do anything, and I've just worked my life away. So for me, it's a powerful, powerful thing to understand what you don't want and use that as motivation to help you get what you want. And also, you get to balance out that equation. As I say always, everything has two sides, the law of polarity. So doing these processes, this is the opportunity for you to take it seriously and scare yourself straight. What's going to happen in your life if nothing changes? So that's the first step on this brainwashing journey. Have you realized that adverse or negative events have a much more significant impact on our mental and psychological state than, say, a positive event does? Positive weighs grams, negative weighs kilograms. Now, if you ever felt like thinking positive or just being a positive person takes a lot of effort, well, you're not crazy. You're not doing it wrong. You have to actively fight against this negative swayed biases that wants to color the world in black or white and say that everything's going wrong for you. So you may be wondering, where am I going with this? Well, the easiest way to brain yourself into the life and the success that you want is to remove the negative inputs from your life. This does two things. First, you stop feeding yourself with the negativity, which of course is easier said than done. But the second is you must understand that your brain is always looking for what will go wrong because it's designed to keep you safe. And when you pair that with what's online, this is why the world can seem so doom and gloom for you. This is why social media companies and platforms and even news articles and stories have literally gotten called out for this. They know that negative posts get more engagement than positive ones. The news follows. If it bleeds, it leads. And you can tell this is their business model. It's just like promoting the negativity, right? And so this is what you need to do if you want to start programming and brainwashing yourself for success. Now, if you were trying to be healthy and feel energetic, you would remove all the bad foods from your house. So if you couldn't see them, out of sight, out of mind, you wouldn't be tempted to eat them, and it just wouldn't even be an option for you. So you should do that with social media too. I've gotten so extreme with this. I only have 2 apps that send me notifications. I don't watch the news. I unfollowed anyone who was negative or who I would judge or compare myself to. I unsubscribed from so many channels that were kind of like doom and gloom and didn't make me feel good. Now, I'm not telling you to do it forever. Just give it a break for 30 days or so and just kind of see how you go. Now, if you're having resistance to this, it's because you at some level kind of like it and you may be feeling a bit of a void within yourself. But just try it for 30 days. You can always go back, but I guarantee that you'll want to after the end of the 30 days, you won't want to go back. You'll want to keep this negativity out of your life. So that's a major way to clean out the negativity. Also, listening to negative people, listening to heavy metal rock music or rap music, watching or playing violent TV games or TV programs, and watching scary or violent movies are harmful on the energy system of the body for up to 30 minutes after it is turned off. Let me say that again. Listening to negative people, listening to heavy metal rock music or rap music, watching violent TV programs, playing violent games, and watching scary or violent movies are harmful to your energy system of the body for up to half an hour after it is turned off. TV ads are a common source of negative energy as well. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to do. However, be mindful of what you're allowing to go into your mind. What I've found is the more work I do on myself and the higher up the scale of consciousness I go, the interest for watching any type of those negative programs just kind of disappears. Now, just like any habit, our unconscious mind resists it. For example, you learn to walk before the age of 2 or 3, right? And you download the habit of walking. And unless you have a severe injury, you never have to learn to walk again. And your mind will try and resist any changes to that habit. If you try not to walk, your mind is going to resist it. But when we get a negative belief or a negative program, it also tries to resist the change as well. So the issue is, how can I put new programs into the unconscious mind to rewrite the old ones that are sabotaging me? And the answer is this. There are only 3 ways that you can rewrite your unconscious mind. The first is through hypnosis. Now, this is a process that you downloaded the programs in the first 7 years of your life to start with. This is how all the programs were written in the first place. So every night when you go to bed, just when your unconscious mind falls asleep, your unconscious mind is in operation. So if you put headphones on and you go to bed, it's not going into the conscious mind, it's going straight into the unconscious mind, and it can help you reprogram it. So how do you get new programs after the age of 7 if they've already been instilled? Repetition and practice, which is the second way to rewrite your unconscious mind. Anything you need to learn, you have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until you create a habit. So if you want to change a habit that isn't supporting you, you have to engage in a habit that does support you. If you're not a happy person, you can say every single day, no matter how unhappy you are, you say to yourself repetitively, I am happy, I am happy, I am happy. Over the day, you just keep saying it and you keep repeating that. And guess what? Repetition and new habits will change the program, and one day you'll wake up and your unconscious mind has already got the I am happy program in it. I like to record myself saying different things that I want to program myself with. I even add like a little bit of backing music to it, and it's like I'm programming myself while I sleep. Now, I also like to do this too while I am concentrating consciously on something, and I have it playing quietly in the background. This way, my conscious mind is distracted on the task, and my unconscious mind can receive the downloads and the rewritings straight into it. See, there's this thing called the critical faculty, and it's the barrier between the conscious and the unconscious. And this is the same thing that makes it so hard for the average person to tap into their unconscious mind. It's the rational mind versus the unconscious and emotional mind, which is generally where all the issues are that need to be programmed anyway. And lastly, the most effective way to change unconscious programming is through energy psychology. Now, energy psychology comes in many different forms, including hypnosis, timeline therapy, EFT, Psych-K, body talk systems, and brain sync. Energy psychology is the reason that we can get results within the programs here at AMD so quickly. It's powerful stuff. And using these modalities and these processes, you can rewrite your beliefs and you can radically change the character of your life in literally just a matter of minutes. So I hope that helps. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you on the next one. And remember, stop settling for a life you don't deserve and start living the life that's true to yourself and your true highest potential. Like and subscribe this video if you liked it so I know. Comment, let me know what your thoughts are. and I'll see you on the next one.